What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, February 5th, and we are just finishing up our 6th week of Tier 4 lockdown here in Oxford in England, where I moved in December and basically went straight into lockdown. I hope wherever you are in this world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I hope all your friends and your family are doing great too. I don't know if anyone else is going through this too, but if you are quarantining or doing lockdown on your own like I am, this can be a really interesting time, and interesting not necessarily in the good way, but also maybe a little bit in the good way. I have been thinking a lot in the past few weeks about how my wellness and my own ongoing weight loss journey has been affected by the past 6 weeks. As a lot of you will know from watching my videos, I only recently moved to England back in the middle of December. I was born here and I've always wanted to come back to live here. So I took this opportunity where I knew I could work remotely, and I wanted to test out living here as a grown-up, not in school, not as a kid, but as like a fully functioning adult. So far, I feel like it's been going pretty well. To be honest, a lot of this lockdown has really made me stay home and really get settled into my home life, which has been really, really good, because honestly, otherwise I would probably be running back and forth to London, going to see friends in Paris. So this time has been challenging because I've spent the entire time on my own and very introverted, which I sort of naturally am anyway. I'm also used to having an office to go to, a team to work with, and now that I'm in a different time zone, things have just really shifted for me. I've been thinking a lot about how my wellness journey has been affected by the past 6 weeks. And I have some wins and I definitely have some losses. But the losses, I'm really thinking about them as challenges I've identified that I can now address. So that's how I'm sort of framing that to myself. I wanted to talk about some of my wins during this lockdown in terms of wellness and self-care. My first win that I feel really kind of proud of myself for starting to do is establishing a morning routine. Over the past 4 weeks, I have really nailed this down. And it is not that dissimilar to the morning routine I was following in Hong Kong, except now I don't have access to a gym because lockdown. So the biggest challenge I had to setting up my morning routine is that I really did not like home workouts. Ask me like a month ago, 2 months ago, and I was like, there is no way I'm gonna be able to keep up a workout schedule from home. I was just very uncomfortable with the idea of exercising and sweating on my own in a quiet room. But that has all turned around over the past 4 weeks, and every morning now I wake up really early. I have a liter of water, I have a large coffee with Manuka honey and my collagen supplement, and then I go straight into my home workout. Now, the key for me has been to find 12 to 16 different exercises that I enjoy doing in my home workout. And I found that the common thread through these exercises is that these are moves that I see progress as I do them. So everything from goblet squats to lunges to eccentric push-ups. And I've just started to use my TRX bands. Again, I bought them weeks ago and I used them a little bit, but I felt like really awkward about it. And now I've just started using my TRX bands again, and I feel myself getting stronger slowly. So I'm really, really happy about that change during lockdown, the establishment of my morning routine. Something else I've added to my lockdown daily routine is a very brief meditation. I come and go with meditation over the past couple of years. I feel like I downloaded the Headspace app years ago, used it pretty routinely for a month or two, got stressed, stopped using it, or something would disrupt my routine and I would just stop cold turkey. And recently, because I've been spending a lot of time alone, I do feel like not being around other people creates a different type of anxiety for me. I get anxious about small things that I can't really figure out how to manage or control in my life. And meditation helps me let go of these anxieties. I think that the anxiety of being alone a lot is very different than the anxiety I feel when I am in a group environment or in a team environment, because those external anxieties are things that I understand very well as a manager how to cope with and the steps I can take towards solving. But my own anxiety, which is internalized, sometimes I don't feel like I have a lot of control over. But meditation helps me deal with that feeling in a productive and calm and rational way. So I've also started meditating in the morning, which has done huge things for my sense of well-being. Something that I have started doing in lockdown because I have saved all this time because I don't have to commute anymore is I have started to do a morning skincare routine. I've always had a very light evening skincare routine, nothing like those skincare gurus or anyone who's doing any videos about skincare routines. I don't have that many steps. I think I have like 3 or 4 steps in my skincare routine. And what I've started to do in lockdown, because I am now not commuting, so I don't have to spend like 30 or 40 minutes on a train, is after I work out and I have breakfast and I get ready, then I do my skincare, get ready after I shower. Then I do a skincare routine every single morning. And sometimes I do feel like I'm going a little bit overboard, but then I say to myself, well, why not? There's like nothing else for me to do before I start work. So every single morning, after I get out of the shower, I put on vitamin C eye patches, and I really like the ones from both Pixie, which come in a jar, and there's like a whole bunch in one jar, but I've also started using the Radiance Plus ones from Boots, which are a vitamin C under eye patch. And I feel like as I've gotten older, I never really grappled with this issue before, or I would just like use concealer to cover it up, but I have had a bit more discoloration and darker circles under my eyes and puffiness as I've gotten older. Of course, also depending on how much salt I ate the night before. So every morning I use eye patches, and then I will try to remember to sheet mask every morning. And I probably successfully sheet mask 5 out of 7 days a week. If I have an early morning call, then I skip this step because I don't have time to like wait for the sheet mask to, you know, settle into my skin, all that serum to get absorbed into my skin. But I moved from Hong Kong to England with like hundreds of these because they're so much cheaper in Asia than they are in the UK or the US. In Hong Kong, I would go to Sasa, which is like the Ulta of Hong Kong, and I would often buy Dr. Jart sheet masks because they were on sale like all the time, and it would be like buy 2 get 1 free, or no, like boxes. So buy 2 boxes, get a 3rd free. In Sephora in the US, I believe that Dr. Jart sheet masks go for about $7 or $8 US each. In Hong Kong, not on sale, they're about $1.20 US each. On sale, they're about 60 to 70 cents each. So I really stocked up on Dr. Jart sheet masks before I moved away from Hong Kong, and now I have just like a billion of these. So I'm going through them slowly. They do have an expiration date, so I don't feel like I need to like hoard them and save them for a later date because they do expire. They are a beauty product. My 2 favorite Dr. Jart masks are the Wrinkless Solution one, which is a 2-part mask, so 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. I put this over my eye mask. And I really like the clearing solution, which I think I've tried this and the Perfecting one, the one that's charcoal and that it bubbles. Both of these are for cleaning out your pores. I don't think they actually clean out your pores. It's just like a layer of serum that I don't know what it does. I don't really know that much about skincare, but I do find that I like this one a bit more. It is more gentle for my older skin. I think if you're looking for something that is more detoxing and has that charcoal element, the Perfecting bubbling charcoal one is really, really good. So I only use that in the summertime if I'm feeling extra oily. But I really love the clearing solution. It really has helped me with just maintaining clearer skin in the long run. I don't have the clearest skin. I have never actually been to a dermatologist. I get a facial like once every year, maybe. So yeah, I prefer very low maintenance skincare, but these are something that I've been really enjoying. After I take my face mask off, I leave it on for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, depending on what I'm doing. I'll go and answer some emails, I'll answer some Slacks. But after I take it off, while there's still all this like serum on my face, then I go in with this. Now, I have seen this all over Asia. My mom has one, like all of my friends in Asia have this, but I haven't really seen this really become super popular on skincare YouTube and skincare social media. I do see a lot of people in the US and the UK and in Europe use jade rollers. So think of this as jade rollers to like the nth degree. And this is not even like the fanciest one. This is like one of the mid-low range ones, but I am obsessed with my Refa face roller. So Refa, R-E-F-A, this is a platinum coated face roller that I use on my face for lymphatic drainage massage, and I'm sure you've heard of that. Like that's the one where if you're feeling like a little bit bloated, or if you feel like you're retaining a bit of water, or if you feel like your face is a little puffy in the morning, doing lymphatic drainage massage, a gentle circulation improving massage, can help things like settle down and calm down and become less inflamed. This I use when there's still a bunch of serum on my face, so there's slip, and I use it on my jawline like this. You see how it's like it picks up like the skin and like the fat and like rolls it around. So I use it on my jawline, I use it under my cheeks, and then I use it here. I do have the thing now where I'm looking in the viewfinder, but before the last 2 years, I never really had lines on my forehead, and now I do. So because I'm not doing injectables, I've never done them. I'm trying to stave them off for as long as possible. I do a little bit of massage here just to, you know, get those muscles exercising and like keeping them strong. So this is sort of like, jade rollers are, to me, for me, a jade roller doesn't really do anything. I think I need something stronger. And this is really popular all over Asia for just keeping the skin firm, keeping like the muscles on your face toned, but it's still very gentle, and it feels so good when you use it on your face, because it just feels like a cool massaging motion, and it feels so different than doing lymphatic drainage by hand or using a jade roller. It feels like a gentle kneading. I have a friend actually who loves his Refa roller, and he actually keeps it in the refrigerator. So in the morning, if he's puffy, it feels so good to have a cold Refa roller to use on your face. Something I discovered for the skin on my body that I've been using during lockdown is something that I sort of discovered accidentally. I've heard about this forever and I've never tried it. It's tallow soap. And I only got some because right before lockdown was happening, I was trying to do a big shop and freeze a bunch of things in my freezer just in case lockdown got even more serious and they started limiting how often you could go to the supermarket. So just in case, I ordered a bunch of organic bones for bone broth from an organic farm here in England called Coombs Farm. And on the website, while I was ordering, I saw they had a beauty section, so I just clicked on it. And in the section, they sell organic tallow soap, which is a byproduct of organic meat farming. It's made of beef tallow. And I bought 2 bars. I had read somewhere years ago, and I sort of just bought it because I wanted to try something that felt like it was natural, but also I'd read that tallow soap is extremely good for sensitive skin and for extremely dry skin. And since I moved here, Hong Kong is extremely humid, and England is pretty humid compared to New York and LA and Vegas, but England is a lot less humid than Hong Kong, and my skin has definitely gotten drier since moving here. Plus, I've always, my whole life, had skin that was reactive. So when I was a kid, I had eczema. I had a little bit of adult eczema, but usually only in the summertime. But I have had contact dermatitis and dermatitis issues before, usually as a reaction to maybe like a food I had eaten or something I had touched or a harsh detergent. So I wanted to try tallow soap, and I have now been using it for about 2 weeks. I bought the geranium one and a lavender one. This is the lavender one. The geranium one is in my bath. It has changed my skin drastically. My hands have not cracked in the past week. My skin just feels softer and more well moisturized and stronger all day long. So I don't know if that's purely the soap. I've also really amped up my collagen supplement intake, but it's really, really great. And it's actually a lot cheaper than the soap that I was very, very dedicated to before, but that has been discontinued. I've loved Harry soap for years. I'm like obsessed with it. It's one of the only soaps that I could buy like in bulk and commercially that definitely would not flare up my eczema or my dermatitis. And really, I really love the scent. I love the packaging. I love bar soap, and I love that it didn't irritate my skin, but it's been discontinued. So I was looking for a substitute anyway, and I'm really glad I found it. So Coombs Farm Organic, if you're in England, give it a try. My two other self-care / wellness wins during lockdown is because I am not actually going out that much, and I'm not just going to like corner stores and convenience stores and drugstores all the time, because I would walk around everywhere, like in New York or in Hong Kong. If I was bored, I would just go outside and like walk around the neighborhood and pop into a store and like buy a Diet Coke. I'm not doing that now. I'm not really leaving my apartment that much. And so the opportunities for acquiring diet sodas and things that have artificial sweetener in them has basically dropped to almost zero. And because of this, and because I've also stopped taking pre-workout because I'm not going to the gym, and I haven't really had BCAAs. I think I've had BCAAs once since I've been in England, because I'm just not really working out very hard. My home workouts are just not very hard. So I'm not taking wellness supplements like in the form of powdered drinks, and I'm not really drinking many diet sodas. I think I've gone down to like maybe 1 or 2 a week. I feel that like I'm really excited that I've been able to take down my artificial sweetener intake significantly during lockdown. So I'm really happy about that. And I'm hoping to be able to stick to that as things start to open up, hopefully in the summer. I have also drastically reduced my caffeine intake. When I was living in Hong Kong, if you used to watch my videos, I would have pre-workout in the morning, and then I would get like a venti Starbucks after my workout. And then often I would get another venti Starbucks around 2 o'clock, and like in between maybe have cups of tea. That is way too much caffeine for me. I felt fine because I'd gotten used to it, but I can't imagine it was good for me. So I've really cut that down. I just have 1 large coffee in the morning with almond milk and my Manuka honey. And throughout the day, I'll have probably like 4 cups of tea, sometimes with milk, sometimes without, either breakfast tea or Darjeeling or Assam tea. And that's what I have. So that's probably still too much caffeine for me, but it is drastically lower in caffeine milligrams than I was having before. So I'm really happy about that progress. I would like to get to a point where I feel comfortable and energetic just having maybe 1 coffee in the morning and 2 or 3 cups of tea during the day. So I'm not that far off from there. So I'm on the right path, and I'm really happy about it. So this is the part of the video. This is the stuff that I actually think about more often than the wins. And I wanted to put the wins in the front because I want to remind myself that there are wins, and I have to constantly reinforce to myself that lockdown has had its benefits for me, and I've been able to develop some good habits during lockdown, and I want to keep on telling myself that, because then I'll keep moving forward and making progress. That's the plan, at least. I have had some setbacks and some losses, and I want to think about these things as things where there's a lot of room for improvement. The first is that I have definitely gained some of the weight that I lost back over the past 6 weeks, and that is purely because of two major factors. One, I am eating probably 600 more calories now a day than I was when I was training with a trainer and I had a coach, and I was, just much more diligent about what my macros were. I have gotten a little bit loose with myself in terms of calorie intake, and that is 100% because of boredom. I have been eating more processed white carbs than I would like to be. So the room for improvement there is that I would like to get back to eating foods that are nutritionally dense, and I would like to get my calories and macros down to the point where I'm not gaining weight. At the very least, I should be maintaining, but I definitely feel like I'm gaining weight. I have bought a scale, and to be honest, I've only stepped on it once since I got it because I'm too nervous to step on it, and I think it'll put me in like a bad mental cycle. So I'm just not doing that until I make that change for myself, which I think I can do. The other thing that's causing me to gain back some of the weight that I previously lost is that I am just not hitting my steps goal. Not even close. I have a friend and colleague who, even when she was in quarantine after traveling out of Hong Kong, she still got 20,000 steps a day just walking around the hotel room she was quarantined in, and that is dedication. I am not that dedicated. I feel like I did really, really well with steps in Hong Kong. I was probably averaging about 15,000 to 18,000 a day on like a normal week because I tried to walk everywhere. It was just easier to walk everywhere than to go in the subway or take a bus, and I enjoyed it more. And I just felt like being out in the air was really, really fun. Here, because of lockdown and because actually a lot of things are flooded right now. So the other day I tried to go for a walk in the middle of the day, and I went to a park, and instead of doing a big loop around the big meadow, because the meadow was flooded and the paths were flooded, I ended up just doing a few loops around a smaller field. So this is all an excuse, but flooding and then rain and stuff like that, I will find any excuse to not do my steps in the morning, and I just have not been hitting my step goal. So I need to find a better way, and a way that I enjoy to get that low impact steady state cardio. I did put myself on the waiting list for a rowing machine. And if you are a former coach of mine and you know how much I hate the rowing machine, you will be shocked that I put myself in this list. But I do think that I don't think I can have a treadmill in an apartment. I think the people downstairs would lose their mind if I had a treadmill and I was running on it. I also don't think a stepper is a very practical thing to have in an apartment because they're so large and so bulky. But I did have this idea because I have a pretty big balcony. I had this idea that I could put a rowing machine on the balcony and actually row outdoors, which could be kind of nice because it never really gets crazy hot in England, so you can always sort of row outdoors. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you think that's a really good idea or a really bad idea. I thought it was genius when I thought of it, but maybe it's not a great idea. Also because rowers can be quite loud, so we'll see. But the rower is on back order for like 3 months because everyone started buying home workout equipment during lockdown, and they're just sold out and they can only make so many every week. So I think I have like 2.5 months left before my name comes up to the top of the wait list, and they send you a link where you can like order it. So we'll see how I feel in 2 months. I read this study this week that was done by Edelman on behalf of Lululemon, who is one of their clients. And it was a little bit disturbing what the study showed. The survey had surveyed 10,000 people in 10 different markets all around the world. And the survey took place at the end of 2020, so after almost an entire year of global lockdown because of the pandemic. And it found that of the 10,000 people surveyed, less than 30%, I think it was 29%, responded that they felt that they had a strong sense of well-being. Now that is really troubling because that is a very, very low number. But it's also not surprising because of the kind of year we've all had. That got me thinking about my own sense of well-being, and I can sort of just get through the day, and I don't know if a lot of you guys are like this too, but I can sort of just make the time go by. So if I get up and do my morning routine, then I sit down and I do some work. In the middle of the day, I make some lunch. Maybe I go for a walk, I do some more work, I have a couple of calls, and then it's bedtime again. So I don't have trouble getting through a day, and I consider myself a pretty resilient person. So I don't think about my own sense of well-being that much, but I do know when you think about it, or when I think about it in like very stark terms. In the past 6 weeks, I've eaten every single one of my meals alone. And I haven't had a real conversation with another person in real life. I've had Zoom conversations with friends, I've called people on the phone, we've talked on Clubhouse, that app that everyone's doing now. I've talked to a bunch of my friends on Clubhouse. I have conversations with people at the shop, but not real conversations, just like, you know, checkout counter conversations. But that can't be good for me either. So I am an extroverted introvert. So I think I am good in group situations and with other people, but I am predominantly introverted, and I do enjoy spending time on my own. I like to think myself as pretty balanced that way under normal circumstances. But this situation that we've been in for the past year has made me far more introverted. And even when I was in Hong Kong, I got to go to an office all the time and I was constantly surrounded by people, but I did spend a lot of time by myself, just exploring the city and just doing my own thing, which I really, really enjoy. Here it's a little bit different because the entire country is on lockdown. So I think I need to make more of an effort to make those one-on-one connections with existing friends and maintain those relationships. So I'm going to do that from this point forward, really make an effort to keep in touch with people and have more one-on-one talks and more Zooms and just text people more. And yeah, just to make sure that I'm not turning completely inward. And one of the last main things that I want to figure out how to improve while we're in lockdown is I need to figure out how to be more productive. I think I'm pretty productive, or I work effectively and I get things done. But looking at my days as they go by now, I sort of wonder how I got all those things done that I used to get done back in the day before all this happened. Like, how did I have a list of 15 to-dos during the day and commute and go out for dinner and meet people for a drink and have meetings? Like, I don't know how that used to happen. Now I feel like I'm getting what I need to get done, but then the day is over. So I need to figure out where the time is going, or if I'm just moving slower and taking things in a more well-paced way. I don't know which is healthier. I don't think the speed that I was running for years and years before 2020 was necessarily healthy. I did feel like quite burned out a few different times throughout my career. I was lucky that I was able to take a few months off here and there, or go freelance, or have like a little sabbatical just to reset myself and like recenter myself and like get myself back. But I do think I need to be more productive. I do think there is a happy medium in between what I'm doing now versus the really rocket fuel pace that I was running at maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. So I'm looking for that. And I want to end each day feeling satisfied and happy with the work I've done, with the people I've talked to, with the conversations I've had, and with the relationships and connections that I've made. So that is the ultimate goal. Anyway, I think this is the longest video of just me talking to the camera ever, but thank you so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments below how you're feeling during this whole thing. I mean, it's been going on for so long for everybody, and whether there are wins and losses that you think you've really learned about yourself and that you're taking into consideration as we move forward. I do feel very optimistic about the summer and the autumn and the winter of 2021, and I'm hoping that when the New Year's ball drops for 2022. We're gonna be in a totally different mindset, and the world will have somewhat emerged from this really, really difficult period that we've all been through. And I think that we probably all are hoping that. So in the meantime, I hope you are having a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. It is Friday, and I hope you're gonna enjoy your weekend. It is a beautiful day here, and I don't know if it's gonna rain or snow this weekend, but I'm hoping to get out for a walk today. So yeah, we'll see. I'll check in with you guys again next week, and I will see you soon.